Alright then, hello and welcome to a new stream for my Experiencing the Death Plus series. And in this stream we are going to be fixing things once again. In this stream I'm kind of hoping to fix all of the things that are kind of in the ground or below ground. And maybe if I have time I might be able to start working on the floating stuff, although I don't think I'll have quite the time for that. By the way, there is one thing that I need to grab before I start working, which are some scorched planks. That's because the first thing that I'll have to work on is underground. It's these tunnels, and for that I'm going to need some scorched planks. So let's see, how many do I need? So that's one. So it's 8, so that means 48 here, plus 5, so it's 53, so I need 27 planks to craft these slabs. So I just remembered I forgot something. There we go. Yeah, good. I think. Yeah. And we have to check the music. Right, there we go. Now I can start replacing these things. Anyway, I feel like at this rate that I'm going, I should be able to fix everything in this stream or the next one. Although probably in the next one, since there's still quite a lot of things that need fixing, like around the whole base. Anyways, you might know the rebrand is coming soon, and I'm kind of preparing for that. I'm not preparing that much. I've only prepared a logo that I'm going to use in the future videos. I've used the program called Minimator for that, and kind of built the logo out of blocks, using stone blocks and brick blocks, and I've used the texture from the jar file. So that way it's the same texture as the blocks that are in the mod, and I just plan to use it in the future. The fact that I've made it in Minimator also means that I can change the textures if I want to. So for example, I can replace the regular bricks with the colored bricks to make things more interesting. So that way I can have different colored bricks for different series that I might do, like Infdev Plus. I think that could be interesting. Anyway, seems like this tunnel will be quite a quick fix. I'm only 5 minutes in and I feel like I'm close to finishing it. I feel like doing it like this isn't a good idea, so I'm first going to break these blocks and then place them in. As you can see here, I've done some preparations before I stream. I kind of placed the blocks in this section so that I would know which blocks that I need to use, but I don't think it was all that necessary since I managed to remember it even without that. area mentioned the I was talking about the future. I mentioned the rebranding, so the next thing that I like to mention that I got some plans for like future series, future short series. Like I had the adventure series and the hardcore series, and the first series that I plan to do is a cave series where I just try to beat the mod while in a base world. I think it will be an interesting challenge. I'm also thinking of doing some dimensional challenges where I basically don't start in the old world and instead start in another dimension, maybe the Crimson, maybe the Asphalt. You'll see. It's something I'm gonna have to decide on later on. Also, you may have noticed that the stairs are no longer causing problems. I think I've noticed this in the last stream. They no longer like cause crashes when you hover over them, which is quite nice. This makes me wonder if the trapdoors that I have in my collection room will still cause the crashes. Probably not, but I don't feel like testing it in this stream. I'd rather not find out the hard way. Anyway, seems like at this rate you'll be done with this thing in like 10 minutes. Anyway, the next thing that I'd like to mention for the future plans is that I of course still plan to continue working on this world. I want to continue playing in it, even in the new versions. After all, the whole goal of this, of creating this world, was to play on it in all of the versions. So of course I wouldn't just stop playing on it. I'm gonna craft some more of these double panels just in case. I think 6 of them should be enough. Anyway, once I'm done with this, I'm going to keep these materials here. I don't feel like putting them away during the stream. That won't be particularly interesting. Also, this is something that I've talked about in several of my streams, but which is the website. I haven't really worked on it. There was, I think, a few streams ago I've mentioned that I want to like work on it and I've announced it in public, but I haven't really worked on it all that much. I just haven't had the motivation, so I guess I'll work on it whenever I feel like it and announce it whenever I feel like it. Hopefully I don't completely lose interest in the website, since I still got a lot of things that I want to do. Maybe I could start working on it again in the next read. Who knows? Anyway, another thing that I would like to talk about is my Polyworld project, in which I'm currently playing in Infdev. However, I feel like I should soon be finished with the Infdev world. I feel like I should be able to finish it in July. Yeah, in July, because I don't have that many things remaining to build. Currently I'm working on a new episode for that project, and I work on a cactus farm and a wheat farm, and we've managed to finish both of these. which means that currently the only things that I want to work on are a house and a furnace room. But anyway, seems like this corridor is finished. So next up is this come over here, for which I'll need some more materials. Probably. And I'm also going to remove this elevator because I don't need it anymore. Also, I've recently noticed that slimes seem to be spawning more in my world. Maybe the slime spawning was changed. Anyway, time to start working on this. And I need some panels. The copper panels for these parts. Anyway, I believe the last one that I've talked about is the Infdev world. I've mentioned how I will finish it in July. And that I only have like 2 things remaining. There's been the furnace room and the house. My current plan is to build the furnace room in the extreme, which will be on the 27th, so in a week. Also, I just noticed that I don't have particle thermals, so I'm gonna turn them on. So if things go well, then I will complete the furnace room in the next stream. And then sometime during July I'm going to do the house and also do some other things. Basically I'm going to tie everything up, tie up the loose ends. And it seems like I need some basalt, some smooth basalt to replace the slime block. The reason why I'm removing the slime block elevator is because it no longer works the way it used to, which makes me wonder about one thing, is if I can use it to launch myself. And what is the creeper doing here? Alright, now that I think about it, I didn't really need to kill it. Anyway, let me just grab so that no, it doesn't have any fuel. So let me see, can I spot any gold here? Probably not. Would have been nice if there was some, so I could quickly test something. There we go. Now let's see, I'm going to... Oh wait, I left this node there, I think. Or did I? Now let's see, do I get launched? No, I don't. That was kind of disappointing. And now I need to bring 2 pieces of basalt, that's annoying. I accidentally broke the basalt block that I didn't want to. And of course I only brought 1 block, why would I not? Oh hell, steel cat. As you can see, I'm currently working on my base, trying to kind of fix it. I've already fixed a lot of stuff, but there is still quite a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed. Like, for example, this tunnel over here. I need to fix all of these blocks, and I'm also going to remove the blind block elevator that I used to have here. Oh, already. That no longer works since the way the line blocks work has changed. And then to do this. Now I can start removing things. Now then, for these walls, fixing it will be simple. It's basically just some patterns that I choose. It doesn't really matter what pattern do I use here. I think I'm going to do like a plus sign using bricks. And I'm just going to repeat it on this level. Basically for each level I'll have a different pattern that I will repeat on the same level. This will probably take quite a while since there's a lot to fix, but it should be fine. I probably should have done this scaffolding better bit because it's kind of annoying to traverse. Alright, that's first level out of I don't know how many. A lot. Too many. I don't think I need the quite an X for the other levels, at least not right now. And of course I fell again. I don't need to fix this scaffolding because it's kind of annoying. I think I'm going to use the slabs here just to place some of them here, that way it's easier to climb onto it. Thank God I got the beacon, so I don't really need to worry about taking fall damage even if I fall from the highest part of this scaffolding. Like so. Anyway, for the second level I'm first going to remove all the blocks and then place them in. As for the pattern, I think I got something in mind. And I also need to bring myself some more basalt. I think I'm going to grab a whole stack while I'm at it. I'm not sure why I didn't bring a whole stack the last time. It would have saved me a lot of trouble, and it would have been the smart decision to make, but I don't do smart decisions here. Also, I'm gonna ask Method later about these slimes because I feel like their spawning has changed since I've been seeing a few of them around my base, which I didn't used to see them around my base at all before. They now even seem to spawn in the light, so I wonder what's up with that. Maybe they are being made to spawn like in the vanilla versions, although I don't remember how exactly does their spawning work in the vanilla versions, or at least like when it comes to light level. I know they spawn in the slime chunks and in forms, I think. I'm not sure the exact conditions. 47 for this level. I'm thinking of doing something like this. And I'll need to grab some more materials later. I don't know quite enough. I'm gonna go right now and craft all of these and also put some things away. I don't like having an inventory that's cluttered like this. Let's see, what do I not need? I can do trapdoor. I'm gonna keep these things for now, so I'm gonna pick up more of these later on. I'm gonna need this door. And the wood as well. Gunpowder. What do I do need is the basalt, bricks, and I'm also gonna grab the carver since I need it more over there. Of course I broke the... didn't think to grab some more double bezel panels. There we go, that is the second level. Now on to the third one. And of course I have to keep falling, why wouldn't I? Now for this level I'm thinking of doing something like this. Also, once I'm done with this, I'm going to need to take care of the scaffolding, but it shouldn't take too long, at least I hope. And so I'll need to like break all of the blocks and things where I got efficiency and the beacons, so it should be a quick job. And I think once I'm done with this, I'm going to move on to the waterways, which will be quite a big project since I'll need quite a lot of stone brick slabs, stone brick stairs, and the move stone slabs, these ones. I mean, yeah. For this level, I'm thinking this sort of thing. And of course, I fell, but this time not that far. And that was just stupid. Also, later on, I'm gonna have to find some place to store all of these broken blocks because I don't want to just throw all of these away because they're kind of interesting. They're kind of part of this world's lore, this world's history. So I don't want to just throw them away. And instead, I would like to store them somewhere. I'm currently storing them in the basement I've cut, but I also want to work on the basement of the next episode, so which also means that I'm going to have like take care of a lot of the things that are stored there because they would be kind of in the way. My plan is to kind of divide the basement into different sections, different kind of rooms, although they won't be quite rooms. These rooms will be kind of separated by hallways, and basically each of these rooms will be used for a different thing that I won't really want to do somewhere else, or things for which I want to build like separate buildings. But anyway, this stand for another pattern, and I'm thinking of doing something like this. I think this will be nice. Anyway, the reason why I want to work on the basement later on is because I feel like it has been neglected for far too long. I kind of had the idea as to what I'd like to do with it. But it will be like a whole lot of work, so who knows if I'll be able to do it in one episode, but it'll probably be something that I would do across several episodes, since I'll probably need to do a whole lot of digging there. So I just remembered that I've not, while checking this out, I've noticed that there was a mistake here, so I shouldn't perfectly fix it. There's like a front hook here, which isn't supposed to be there. And we've got this floor. I'm thinking something like this. And of course I would fall. I don't know how many times have I fallen while building this. Probably at least dozen, or definitely at least dozen times. Now for this floor, let's see what sort of patterns should I choose. I'm picking this. Yeah, it's basically the same as wannabe pattern, just I've just switched the blocks. But it's not really that important to keep all these two unique since you don't really see them too much, since you just fall from up there to down there, so you don't really have the time to really see them. All of these are basically just background details. Now then for this floor, not sure what pattern I'm gonna use yet. I think I'm gonna go for kind of a circle or a square like this. I must say that having these pickup notifications can be a bit confusing at times, because sometimes when they appear I think that there is a new message in chat, but then I look on my second screen and notice that, you know, it's just a pickup notification and there's no new message in the chat. Also forgot to say this, but you know, I've got OBS open on the second screen, so that's why it kind of confuses me. And alright, I still have got this to fix, but I don't remember the pattern that was there. Alright. Oh, you know what, I think I'm gonna... Yeah, they never... Yeah, they can be strange sometimes. Anyway. I was about to say that I got the roof to fix, although I don't remember the pattern that was there, so I think I'm just gonna do it freehand rather than copying a design that I used to have here, since it's not that important to have everything look the same as it used to. I can also change some things. So let's see. I do have some these brick slabs, but I've got no cobbled slabs, so let me just craft some. I'm already on time, 49 minutes, and I'm almost done with this part, so I definitely won't have the time to start working on the floating islands in this stream. Ouch. Now let's see, what am I gonna do? Then gonna add some bricks to extend the blocks, like so. And add some more over here. Do like this, and then the rest will be double basalt. I also don't need this anymore since the elevator is gone. And there we go. With this we are almost finished, and I just need to remove all of the scaffolding. I just need to be careful not to break any blocks. That would be very annoying if it were to happen. Like this, for example. And there we go. Now it looks how it used to. Although the only problem is that you can't really go up using this. Yeah, you can't really go up over here, but that's fine since all you need to do is just go through this tunnel to the slip gate. Because I won't have the teleport here, and you can just kind of jump inside and enter the crimson, and then just exit the crimson to go back up. There we go. I've successfully climbed the tower. Kind of. There, now it is time to start working on the waterways tunnel, and for that I'm going to need to grab a whole bunch of stone, since I need a whole bunch of the stone slabs. I feel like I might have all of them. Or I don't. I'm not sure right now how many do I have. Seems like probably not any. Which means I'm gonna need to craft a lot of them. So I'm going to grab this much stone and although now that I have to think about it, I'm not going to grab this stone. I'm kind of going to do things in stages. And the first stage that I'm gonna do is to remove blocks. I'm gonna start by removing these cobblestone slabs, since these are supposed to be the stone slabs. And let me just grab a boat so I can return back home. Although now that I think about it, I can just remove all of these slabs, since it's quite a simple pattern. It's not too difficult to remember it. Also, if I remove the slabs first, I will also know how many slabs do I need to craft, so I'll be better prepared. Unfortunately, I built these tunnels kind of long, so there is a lot of work to do. It's not difficult, just tedious. And it seems like I've accidentally broke a stone brick somewhere. Not sure where though. Maybe I'll notice later on and replace it. The one thing that I like to think about is if I want to replace these blocks over here. Well, I guess I will. Even though I don't really use this part of my base, there used to be like a skeleton farm here back in 0.2. However, thanks to all the changes that have been done, especially to spawners, I can no longer use it since after each change to spawners there is currently like no mod assigned to it or something like that. Basically the spawner no longer works. And we've kind of got also some strange bugs, but I'm not going to fix it since I'm no longer using it. Also, let me just see something. Is there anything remaining? And no. Seems like I did grab all the things that used to be stored here way back when. I also got some cobblestone here, but I'm going to keep it there for now since I don't really need more cobblestone. I got a lot of them, a lot of cobblestone stored at home. Perhaps too much for my needs. Also seems like the water rendering is kind of strange with these signs and these fence gates. I'm going to show it a method later. Good thing that I brought the boat with me so I could plan the elevator correctly instead of having to use the ladder that's there. Which makes me think that I maybe should also install a door over here. That way there isn't this hole here. I think I might grab like a pair of doors and install them there. And it seems like we got a blood moon, but that's fine. I don't think we'll get attacked by any monsters since there should be enough light for them to not spawn near me. Also, I just realized that once we get to that power tunnel, I won't have the haste anymore, which will be kind of annoying since it will mean I'll be breaking blocks more slowly. The reason I haven't really said this, or I haven't really talked about it in a long time, but the reason why I've built these waterways is because originally I've planned to use them to kind of travel around my world. I kind of planned to use like a boat to get to different bases that I would build, because I felt like it would be better than using command cards. Then I gave up on it because of the teleporters that got introduced, since those are way better than waterways because they are way cheaper and easier to set up, since I basically don't need any infrastructure for them. In fact, now that I think about it, I haven't even used all of the teleporter connections that I might gonna have. I got the red teleporter which I got set up, then there's the blue one, although I don't really need to have both the red and blue, because those are kind of nearby, but they aren't too far from one another, so I could just use a boat to travel between them, since there's a river going between them. Then there's the green one, which I kind of use for returning home. So for example, if I'm far away, then I can just put down a green teleporter and use it to get home instead of using a green mirror or something like that. And I can also use it to get back. And there's the purple teleporter, which I currently use to quickly teleport to the slip gate, but it's only temporarily there, so if I wanted to, I could use it for something else. The yellow teleporter is currently used for the teleport instead of cobblestone target that I have. And there's lastly there's the sign teleporter, I think, the diamond one, which I also currently don't use. So as you can see over here, I used to have a zombie farm, which I believe I built in 0.1 or 0.2, not sure right now when. And I kind of built it because I expected that the rotten flesh would have more uses, but in the end it didn't, so it was kind of a pointless build that is useless right now, since because of the spawner change, since the spawner no longer spawns the zombies. Also, for a second I was worried about the durability of my tools, since I've broken quite a lot of blocks in this episode, but then I've remembered that this is the quantum narrator, which has got quite a lot of durability, plus I got some unbreaking on it, which gives it even more durability, so I don't really need to be worried about it at all. And seems like we are almost at the end of the tunnel, which is quite nice. Seems like these stairs were placed incorrectly. And of course I broke glass block. So I'm gonna need to grab a glass block as well. Anyway, like let's see, I'm gonna organize these slabs. Let's see, we've got 8 stacks of these cobblestone slabs plus 4, which means I need 4 stacks of stone. Almost 4 stacks of stone to make the slabs, and then we got, let's see, 10 stacks plus 22, which means I need 5 stacks plus 11 of stone bricks. So there's like 9 stacks of stone in total. I'm not sure if I have any stone bricks crafted at home. Also, I mixed these two. And my boat is running away. So how are we on time? We are almost an hour in. After we are making good progress. I was kind of expecting this to take longer, but it's kind of simple design, so yeah. And I just remembered that I also need to fix these paintings around the base. So I'll probably do it during this stream, depending on how much time remaining do I have. And it seems like I need... I was about to say that I need more chests, but it seems like I don't need... Oh, right, I need like 9 stacks of stone. I need 8 stacks of stone slabs, I think, and 10 stacks of stone bricks. Slabs. Oh, hello. I'm currently working on fixing my base, and right now I want to work on the waterways because I need to fix the ceiling. There are quite a lot of blocks that I need to break, and it seems like I already had a carver here. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now the stone bricks. How many do I have? I have 3 slabs. Yeah, it is kind of loud, and the sounds kind of get stacked whenever you like craft a full stack, which is unfortunately like a limitation of the sound system. I've already reported it, and yeah, I've been told it's basically a limitation of that. I'm gonna make it. Also, I'm not sure why did I have it so low. Let me just quickly check something. I think I'm gonna make it. That should be good. Anyway, where was I? Alright. I need to start placing these slabs. I got a lot of these to place. I'm gonna grab a screwdriver just in case. It might be useful to have it. Also, I just remembered there is another thing that needs to be fixed in this area, which is this fan here. I think these are supposed to be ancient oak slabs. Oh, right, this is the waterway tunnel. Basically, in the past, I was planning to use boats to travel around my world, and this tunnel was kind of, I planned to use it to go from here to like different parts of my world by basically creating some waterways that I could use the boat on, that I could. Basically, I was planning to use a boat to travel around my world, and this tunnel was part of that plan. But in the end, the teleporters got introduced, so I no longer needed those. The tunnels became unnecessary since I can just use the teleporters to travel around instead of having some waterways. Hopefully that makes sense. So this tunnel is basically a relic of the past. But I still use it from time to time to travel to nearby places which don't have like a teleporter in them. So it's still used, but not as much as I intended. Give me a second. Good. Well, if I remember correctly, the world is about 3.6 gigabytes, I believe. At least it was around that amount the last time I checked. But I've also kind of ruined it, removing some chunks that I felt like were unnecessary. I kind of ruin it from time to time, just looking at the chunks to see which I feel like are unnecessary. But I do try to keep some of the old ones since those can't really be replaced, so I'm mostly just gonna remove the newer ones that I don't really need. Yeah, it definitely is quite a bit. This is going to be expected from a power world. After all, I've already been playing on it for almost 3 years. This August will be the 3rd anniversary after I started playing on it before the public release, or shortly before the public release, since I had access to the developer builds back then, since I was a tester for the Legacy Plus team for quite a while. believe I became a tester in like April of 2023, which was quite a while ago. Now let's see. I also have like quite a few backups of this world, so one of these days I'm gonna have to like look through them to see which are important and which aren't, and I'm gonna like delete those that aren't important, since I don't think it's important to keep all of them. Which reminds me that I maybe should create a new backup soon. Maybe like once the rebrand happens. I think that will be a good time. After all, it's important to make regular backups in case anything happens, which it might with this mod. Well, I'd say that my favorite part of this world is probably the base, since that's the area that I work on the most, and I've kind of been expanding it ever since I've started working on this world. So I'd say it's probably my favorite area. And you know, I built the most things there and done the most things there. Aside from that, I think there's also like a tree farm that I have, which I have built in the tree dungeons, because I use the spawners to farm the trees. I think that was quite a nice area. Maybe I could show it in this stream, although the farm doesn't really work anymore thanks to the changes that have been done to spawners. I think I have managed to like farm a lot of wood while it was still working, so it doesn't really matter if it's broken, because I got like a whole lot of wood stored there. Like I'd bet like at least 10 double chests of oak blocks, so that's quite old. Anyway, since you want to see that, I think I'm gonna show it once I finish placing these stone brick slabs. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long. And seems like we got a blue moon, which means no mob spawning, or rather no hostile mob spawning. Yeah, after all, you can never have enough materials, and it's nice to have like... what I was trying to say is that you need like wood for like general stuff. Basically what I mean is that like when you craft stuff out of wood, you can either have like stuff that is kind of specific. So for example, you got like different types of doors out of different types of wood. Then you got like general stuff like chests and such, which kind of are always the same regardless of what wood type you use. So it's kind of nice to have a lot of wood for general stuff like this. Although I'm not sure where I was really going with this. Oh, I don't have a cobblestone farm, I just like use cobblestone that I got from digging out my base of, because my base is mostly in a hill, so I got a lot of blocks, a lot of cobblestone from digging it out. You know, I got a lot of cobblestone from digging out these waterways as well and other stuff. So I've never needed to make a cobblestone farm. And when it comes to caving, or getting materials, I usually just go caving, especially in these new versions of Infdev Plus, since I feel like it's better to go caving for materials than it is to go strip mining. Although I haven't really tested it out to see like what is more efficient. I feel like with the large caves that you have, it's more efficient to just go caving. Oh, I almost thought I forgot about something, but well, I thought I forgot about a part of the tunnel, but that tunnel was, well, that part was actually over there. Anyway, I'm kind of not making any sense at times. But it sometimes just happens when you're trying to focus on both playing and trying to talk. Anyway, how are we on time? Oh, we're in 16 minutes. Oh, I don't think we're making such a bad progress. That's nice. we should soon be finished with these stone brick slabs, so once I'm done with those, I'm gonna go and visit the tree farm just like I've promised. I haven't forgotten about it. Well, well, if you mean like the sort of precious blocks like iron blocks or gold blocks, I haven't actually used any because you don't need any of those for Infdev Plus. Instead, you like activate the beacons using dark matter. Basically, if I remember correctly, in vanilla, you basically select the effect in the beacon using the icon, and then you activate it, and you need the pyramid for that, the precious blocks, but you don't really need to do it in Infdev Plus. Instead, you just place down the beacon, and then you like put in the alchemy material to select the effect, and then you put in the dark matter activated. The more dark matter you put in, the higher the level will be, which affects the range of the beacon and the level. Once the level of the beacon is at least 5, then you get like level 2 of the effect. Hopefully that explanation made sense. Also, I just remembered that I forgot to bring the doors that I want to bring here to, you know, hide this this ladder. But I guess that's something that I'm gonna do once I take care of the stairs. And seems like we are almost done with the stone brick slabs, so it's almost time to see the tree farm. Yeah, having to build the pyramid fort can be kind of annoying, so it's nice not having to do that in this mod. Anyway, next I'm gonna do the stairs, but first I'm gonna show you the tree farm that I've mentioned. And seems like the blue moon event has ended, which means that it's day now, which is quite nice. I don't have to worry about it being night. Anyway, I think the tree farm is over here. Anyway, as you can see, I got a house over here, and here's the map of the build. You can see that we got the 2 tree dungeons here, but I've only used one to farm here. Also, the reason why I'm getting cactus is because this is actually built, or this house is build on top of a cactus farm. And it seems like I'm gonna getting a bit of lag, so I'm gonna turn on fast leaves. And over here you can see the cactus farm. There's quite a lot of cactus. The reason why I decided to build this cactus farm is because I can use it to get a lot of fertilizer this way. Because I can just collect it from these collectors. And you got quite a lot here. I haven't really collected these in a while. I can just get a lot of fertilizer this way. But I am to the tree farms. As you can see, I built some walls here. That's kind of because this is the area where I kind of lived, and I kind of wanted to separate it from the outside area. But I feel like I've, if I remember correctly, I've worked on this in like 0.5 or 0.6, not sure right now. Right inside of this is the tree farm. You can see the spawners where the queens spawned, and they fell onto these withering roses. And go down there. So they fell onto these withering roses. They died. I don't think like the role is missing here. Alright, they died. There. They dropped their drops, and these drops got moved by these fans into the water streams, which make them go here and through here into a water elevator, and then they went into the storage area, where I basically used these collectors, and I also stood at the end to kind of collect any excess drops. Also, the reason why I got these break tracks here is because around the time when this was built, the torch burnout was introduced at like for the first or second time. Then it got removed and the burnout torches got replaced with these break tracks. Also, I got some more stuff here like this, these hell forges, which I think I've used to smelt the logs into charcoal, so that I will have a lot of charcoal. And I've also placed some spawners down, which back then when you place them down became big spawners, so I also use this place to farm some pork. Now I'm also going to use this place to store the pork, because I could also get like a lot of pork from the big man in the astral dimension. So as you can see, I got enough food to last me a lifetime. Also I forgot to show you that this is a warehouse for my logs, which has quite a lot of logs inside of it. I believe this is full as well. Everything here should be full as well. I wonder, is this full as well? Yeah. I definitely have way too many things in here. yeah, thanks for that. I'm glad you like it. After all, I put quite a lot of effort into this world, so it's nice to see it recognized. By the way, oh right, there's one more thing that I'll have to show you. But before I show you that, there is one more thing that I can mention, which is that this whole place was kind of designed with the Dead Sun event in mind. Basically, I can just go around this place, well, mostly, without really getting set on fire by the sun, because I kind of have these walls where I can go walk inside of them and I'm protected from the sun. I can go upstairs and here I'm protected from the sun. I can go through here and I'm still protected from the sun. By the way, the last thing that I want to show you is a dock, which I can also access without really being exposed to the sun. Although that isn't, I don't think that will be necessary in the future. I feel like that sun event might be removed, although not sure right now. But here's the dock that I was talking about. We got a kind of a path with these lanterns, and seems we already have a boat. But the reason why I want to show you is because I can use this to access another place, which I could also use. I mean, another place which I can also access using the teleporter. So I'm going to use the place to go back home. It's not too far away, but it might take a while to access it. I don't remember exactly how far away it is. This place is kind of an old chunk, so you may see some oddities in here. Also, I should probably switch to the file sky. You will see later why. Back skybox. There we go. Oh, like for example over here, these mushrooms. They've got the vines on them and just look weird overall. If I remember correctly, the reason why it happened is because the mushroom stems became a wet pipe instead of block pipe, so or something like that, not sure right now. And also you can see some pigment spawning here because this used to be an orchard biome, but it got turned into the nether waste biome. Also, here I have this, right, do have this sky biome, but the sky is still normal. Oh, doesn't matter. You can see, for a brief moment, you could also see a magma cube over there. And here we got this area as well. This is also kind of a nice bridge. Well, that's because of the biome changes. You might remember, I think in 1.0.40, around that time, some of the biomes got removed, which means that kind of the IDs got shifted. So basically here we used to have the this place basically used to have the orchard ID, but the orchard ID kind of is now taken by the volcanic, or rather the nether waste biome. I'm not sure how to explain it, but It's basically because of the biome changes, but they don't really affect the new worlds. Anyway, here is another build that I've made. I basically did this too because I wanted to build with bone blocks because I feel like it's a nice material. I was kind of inspired by a YouTuber who I saw build out bone blocks in vanilla, so I thought it would be interesting to experiment with it. And also here you can see an old mesa biome which has got some weird colors in it. That's because of the changes to blocks down in 1.0.49 because the hardened clay metadata values got kind of shifted because the default used to be 18 but it got moved to 0, so the other metadata values got shifted by 1. Anyway, I've got quite a list of left over here from when I've kind of worked on this. And I've also wrote a lot of stuff from here. Basically, the reason why I built this is because I wanted to work. I wanted a place where I can gather the hardened clay. Yeah, something like that. And also from here we can get to another place, which is a lich castle, where I've had a spawner farm set up for the strays and the lich warriors, or whatever they are called. And in here I don't have anything since I already took most of the important things home. Also, I've got some sapphires here that's left over from a time when you had to use gems to use the teleporters. Alright, now that we are back home, I'm going to continue working on the tunnel. I should be able to finish it during the stream. It's kind of interesting to have like a world that's this long, because when you're kind of looking around, you just get a sense of how things used to be in the past and how much the things have changed. It's quite interesting. Which reminds me that if you want to, you can actually like check out my world. I believe I've got it linked maybe in the description of the stream, but it's definitely linked in the latest episode of this series. There's like a world that I've uploaded a copy of this world on the 2nd anniversary. Which was almost a year ago. Which also means that soon I'll be uploading another copy of my world, this time for the 3rd anniversary. Which makes me wonder if I'll be able to fix this page before it happens, but I think I'll probably be able to. Yeah, there is like definitely a lot to explore, which is like one of the reasons I'm kind of working on a website. I got like a website hosted on the Neon Cities, whatever it's called. My plan is to basically use it to talk about stuff that I do on my YouTube channel. And one of the things that I want to talk about is my world. So I basically plan to use it to describe the different things that I got in my world, so you'll probably be able to use it as a guide in the future. hopefully. Yeah, something like that. I kind of haven't worked on the website, I think like a month or something like that. I just haven't had the motivation to work on it again. Or I haven't like decided to just take the time to work on it. But I've already done quite a bit of work. I've mainly like work on a page about my base, kind of describing the different parts of it, or at least like the main part of the sort of house part. Anyway, I haven't yet announced the website, or you can already see it, but I plan to like announce it on the Legacy Plus Discord server and on my YouTube channel as well, once I feel like it's ready for people to see it. Of course, it won't be fully completed yet once I announce it, since there will be still a lot of things to do, but I just mainly want to get it to be good enough to just show it. Anyway, how are we on time? Oh, we're 39 minutes. I must be getting kind of tired, but the stream won't be going for too much longer, so it's fine. And also I of course use the website to talk about my other projects, the Hollywood projects that I got currently going on. I also have some websites, like very sub-websites dedicated to that. Well, I don't really have like a YouTube career. I'm almost more focused on like looking for a job unsuccessfully currently. But hopefully I'll be able to find one soon. Yeah, thanks. Hopefully I'll be able to find one soon. It seems like my cat teleported to me for some reason. As you can see, there's a ocelot skin for some reason. It might be due to the changes that have been done to the animals during the boat cleanup. I'm not sure why they get teleported to me. Also, it has got like an ocelot skin for some reason. I feel like he is thanks to the bone cleanup, thanks to the changes that were done to the animals. Like when we got the different animal variants. Anyway, yeah, we did get a cat jump scare. And with this we are done with the stairs, so let's see how many do I need. So that's 10 plus 28, which is 5 stacks plus 14 of stone. Also, I'll need to work on the basement in the future, or I want to work on the basement in the future, since I feel like it's been kind of neglected and just rather messy with these blocks around. We got like these ice stone blocks here remaining, which were created when I've used the freezer here. And we got a lot of cobblestone and other messy stuff. Right, I need to grab some stone. Yeah, it definitely is. My current plan is kind of to dig it out a bit more, divide it into different segments, and have it so that each segment is used for a different purpose. For example, one segment could be used to farm vines, another could be used to store all of the wood that I got here, and each segment will be like made out of different materials, and I plan to have like sort of walkways between them. Could kind of imagine like kind of different cells. Hold on. I'm not sure how to explain it. Oh, I know. Have you... Oh. it will be basically like the plots that you got on the plot server, because you know we got the plot where you can build something and different players build something, and then you got the walkways between them, so the basement would be something like that. Hopefully that makes sense. And of course I forgot to bring the doors that I wanted to bring here. Well, it absorbs damage if you have like enough of it there. So for example, if I were to go outside, over here, for example, let's see where I can, there isn't a good spot to climb up to show this. Basically, if I, for example, jump down here, then it does. Strange. Oh, I'm not sure right now, how is it with the fall damage? Also, I feel like holding spacebar when you jump into water should help. Maybe. Yeah, I know that boss can be kind of jank at times. Although now that I think about it, it might be because I'm not using the latest public version. Instead I got like the release candidate for the rebrand, so maybe the fall damage changed. Not sure. I can't remember if it was changed or not. There we go. Now this should be correctly. I just realized that I can actually hold down the right click button because until now kind of been clicking, but I don't need to. Like I can just hold down the right click button and it will place down everything automatically. Although that might not be possible when I get to within the ranges of the beacons again, since I'll be walking faster. And also I just realized I forgot the glass block. Okay, I guess it might not work that well. Well, I guess they would probably be made out of stone bricks, and made like the different kinds of stone bricks, I believe. If I remember correctly, you got like the bricks in the trial chambers, so those would be, those could be replaced with the normal stone bricks. Then you got the copper blocks, you got like sort of the more brownish orange, or the unoxidized copper, so that could be replaced with granite bricks, for example. And then you've got the oxidized bricks, which could probably be, the oxidized copper, which could be replaced with, if you're talking about vanilla, then not sure, since there aren't that many options in like vanilla Infdev. Maybe if it was in beta, then there could be like more options, since you got the stone bricks. After all, Infdev is kind of bare bones. It could probably be interesting to like make a mod which adds trial chambers to old versions. Although I wonder, like, if someone were to make the mod, if they would like add the other stuff, like the trial spawners, or if they would just keep the regular spawners, or just use the regular spawners in the trial chambers. Another think about the trial spawners are there for the rewards, so that when you defeat all of the mobs you get the rewards, so I guess they would be just replaced with a spawner at chest. Oh, right, he managed to plus, then I guess, well, as I said, well, he could, the trial chambers could use like the different types of stone bricks. You know, you have the regular ones, then the granite ones, chlorite ones. As for the crates, they could probably be replaced with like the sort of bars, the iron bars, and like the copper bars that are in this mod. Oh no, I don't think about it. I don't remember what else is there in the chambers. We don't get the tough bricks, the copper, and the iron spawners. I haven't actually yet explored them properly, so I'm not really sure how would they be in Infdev Plus. But anyway, now I would like to work on this thing. So I'm gonna need to grab some of the ancient brick slabs. I love those. And also, let's see, I feel like the generators that I got here might have run out of power. So I will need to refuel those as well. Also, as you can see, this is my pumpkin farm that I've built quite a long time ago. It seems like where are these pistons extended? Okay, I need to give them an update. Or not. That's strange. Oh, I think I may need to give the gears an update. I wonder what happened to cause them to be or remain activated like that. Now let's see. I need 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna grab 8 sticks of charcoal. So, what do I want to grab? I want some ancient oak slabs, I want some charcoal, I want a piece of glass, and some doors. I think this will be the last one that I will do in this stream. And also, as you saw when I fell, I still took the fall damage, so I guess the water in Infdev Plus doesn't block fall damage quite the same way as in modern vanilla versions. Also, I want to put some things away. And I think I got glass stored over there. Also, one of these days I need to work on finishing this storage system. I haven't finished because I don't currently need all this that much storage. One of these days I would like to finish it. There are some other sections for other things I might need. So I wonder what changed about the slime spawning, because in the current release candidate I've noticed that the slimes are spawning inside my face for some reason, which they didn't used to. Anyway, there's one more thing that I need, which is the charcoal. This should definitely last for quite a while. Also seems like a stalker died here. Let's see how well we're on time. 2 hours and 4 minutes roughly. Oh yeah, this will definitely be the last thing that I'll do on this stream, and seems like my boat is running away. There we go. Well, $40. Anyway, not sure why that teleported to me, but I'm gonna leave it stay there for now. Also, later on, I'm gonna have to figure out what color used to be this. Although it shouldn't be too hard to figure out, I think I can figure it out right now. So let's see, this is yellow, and this is this color. So let me just go home, and I should be able to figure it out by looking into the chests in my storage system. Basically, I just need to look into the chests until I find ones with yellow clay in them, and then I'm going to check which color they used to be. Alright, this is this color, and it used to be yellow, which means I need to grab some yellow clay with me. question is, where's the yellow clay now? There we go. So this is orange, which means I need some yellow and orange to replace these. So I need to replace the yellow clay with orange clay and this green clay with yellow clay. Hopefully I don't forget. Also, I need to not forget to place in the charcoal into the furnaces. Also, I just remembered there is actually one more thing that I want to do aside from this room here, which will be a very good job. And there we go. Now the generators have got fuel, which means that this thing will give me even more pumpkins, which I don't really need. But it's always nice to have more pumpkins. Also, I'm going to take these pumpkins later. I was about to say that I would like to grab those, but I don't think I need to. Also, I feel like I might not have enough the orange clay to fix everything. I not have a crafting table here? I would expect to have one at least. So I think I'm gonna craft some two of them for symmetry. And there we go. With this, the storage system is fixed. Or the storage system is fixed, but the pumpkin farm still needs fixing. I need to replace the orange clay with, or the yellow clay with orange clay, but that's something that I'm gonna do later on. I don't feel like doing that right now. Which means that with that there are now only two things remaining for me to do. They are simple minor things, so I should be able to finish them very quickly. Also, I forgot how many pumpkins do I actually have. Oh, quite a lot. And also the... oh, not that many pumpkins. For some reason I felt like I had more. Now then, the two remaining tasks for me to do are to firstly place in the gravel, which dropped as I was working on the storage system, and the second is to replace some pine slabs that I need to replace. I'm gonna craft some more because I can't remember how many do I need. Plus, it's fine if I have few extra. Now let's see, where is the gravel that I need to place? It should be around here. Here. 1, 2, there we go. And the pine slabs are supposed to be somewhere over here. Yeah, good things I've crafted extra. I don't think I would have enough. Oh, I definitely wouldn't have enough. Anyway, I think with that I have done enough in the stream. I feel like I've made quite a bit of progress since I feel fixed a lot of fixed a lot of blocks, you know, because the areas that I worked on had quite a lot of blocks in and they need to be fixed. So I'd say I made good progress in the stream. Anyway, that will be it from me for now, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.